Welcome back, painting friends. Today we are going to paint a picture of a pink gingerbread house. I noticed how many things this year are pastel colors in the Christmas house. So I thought might as well make us a pink pastel gingerbread house. Colors you're going to need: pink, red, white, green, teal, and brown. I always have my favorite 4 brushes. I always have my 1-inch flat brush, my 10-6, and 1 round brush. Don't forget to have a cup of water and a rag for keeping your brushes clean. And remember, if you like what you're seeing here, then like and subscribe to my YouTube channel and check out my Facebook page, Painting with a Purpose, where we share all of our ideas. So I've got my 1-inch flat brush. I am going to paint my entire background pink to start. I can take my brush, wipe it off. I do not have to wash it off, but what I'm going to do now is take some white paint, and I'm going to make the hill that my little house is going to sit on. Okay, so I'm just going to take that white paint and kind of brush it in with that pink so that my snow has just a little bit of a pink tint to it. I don't want to totally mix the colors. So as I get most of the pink on, I'm just going to kind of go back and forth on this hill line and brush this in, and my hill can kind of change directions if I want it to. Perfect, perfect. And then I'm going to take just the smallest amount of light blue and teal on my, or light blue and white on my brush. And I'm just going to brush some of that color up here into my sky. Just a little bit of that white and light blue color up here towards the top of my sky. Okay, we are going to let this dry. When we come back, we're going to add in that gingerbread house. With our background dry, I'm going to go ahead and lay out where my gingerbread house is going to go. And you can, look up pictures online or think about gingerbread houses you made in the past. You do not have to copycat the same image I'm doing. But I've got my number 6 round brush and some round paint. And I'm going to start my rectangular house right down here about halfway into that snow. And I'm just using my brown paint. And my house is going to go straight up. And from there, I'm going to go inwards just a little bit, and then I'm going to give my house a small little peak. All right, I can go ahead and paint all of this in brown. And then from there, I'm going to take my red paint and add in my roof. And so my roof line is going to go just up from here. So I'm going to go straight up at, well, I guess I shouldn't say straight up, at a small angle inward. And it's going to go straight across. I can go ahead and paint my roof line in red. And while that is drying, let's go ahead and add in some trees around the house. Now, I can just use green, but I can also take green, set it over here, add a little bit of teal to it. I could take green, set it over here, add a little bit of white to it. So that I'm going to have a couple different colors of green. You could even get some yellow paint off of your paint shelf and add some yellow to it if you want some brighter green colors. So just kind of play with the greens that you want, but I'm going to go in with just a couple different colors of green and make my trees. So the first one I'm going to use, this is a little bit of white, a little bit of teal, a little bit of green, and my trees are going to be pretty simple. They are just going to be really tall, skinny triangles. And I can make as many trees or as few trees as I want to make. I can make some that are going to be short and fat. Just kind of have fun with your trees, but just keep them simple triangles. Let's keep the focus on the decorations and details of this picture. Okay, got those guys done. Now let's go ahead and look at our pathway. So I'm going to take my finger with a little bit of pink and a little bit of red, both on my finger. Okay, so a little bit of pink, a little bit of red. And I am just going to make some circles that run from the center of my house down. And as I go down, they are going to get slightly larger and they're going to angle out. Wipe that finger off. And then I'm going to take some white paint right up here at the top of my house. I'm going to make my chimney. So I've got my number 6 round brush and some white paint. I want to do this while my roof is still a little bit wet because I want it to just be a super light pink color. And then with that white paint, I'm going to go ahead and just draw out some really simple rectangles so that there's an illusion that there are some bricks on this fireplace. And I'll just take some white paint and pop it up out of there as though there's some fire going on in that fireplace to keep the little gingerbread people nice and toasty warm. Okay, we are going to let this dry and we come back in. It is decoration time. Let's get finished with this guy. So I'm going to take some pink paint on my palette and mix it with white paint so I get a really, really, really super light pink color. And with that really light pink color, I'm going to draw out my windows for my house. So right up here, I'm going to make one tall, skinny rectangle, and I will mimic that on the other side. Then right down here for my door, I'm going to make a really nice big arched door. Again with that same really light pink white paint. So it's just super light pink, a lot of white, a little bit of pink, and fill that in. On either side of the door, I'm going to go ahead and use that same color and add a nice circular window in. Now it's time to start to add some details with our white paint. So with my number 6 round brush, it's my current favorite brush. Sometimes you'll notice that I change different ones, but right now it's this one. With my white brush, I'm going to go in here, and every one of these trees are going to have a different set of lines. So I can do this tree in diagonals. I can do this tree in scallops. I can use the back of my brush and add polka dots on a tree. But every one of these trees is going to have a different white pattern to it. So I'm going to pop myself in speed motion and show you all of my different tree designs. Love how those trees turned out. Let's look at these little candies down here. I'm going to put a dot in the center, and I'm just going to make curved lines that go out to the edge of the dot. Now let's start adding our decorations to our house. I'm going to start up at the roof and work my way down. So first of all, on my chimney, I'm going to go ahead and add some snow at the top of my chimney. So just some dots of snow right up there. And then I like to sometimes use the back of a pencil to make a little bit bigger dots than what the back of my brush would give me. So I'm going to use the back of a pencil, and I'm going to make dots along the top of this roof. But here is where that teal is going to come in, is that I'm going to do a dot of white and skip a space. And then I'm going to add a dot of teal in between each one. That's a great way to make perfectly circular circles. Then I'm going to go ahead and grab my number 6 round brush and grab some white paint, and I'm going to lay out my roof. So my roof is going to have a scallop design, and all that's going to be are U's that drop down hopefully pretty evenly as I go across and connect back up to the top. And then as I go on to the next level, it will be starting in the center of each of those and connecting up. If you mess up like I did, watch us. Just take a little bit of red paint and paint over it, and I will come back and finish up my roof when that dries, because I definitely messed that up, which is fine. It happens. Now, moving on to the rest of my house, though. I'm going to make a nice fat white edge right here along my roof line. And then from that roof line, I could start at the bottom and kind of squiggle little lines up, and those are going to be some icicles. Now, I don't have to make a million icicles, and I want to make sure that they're not all the exact same, but I can go ahead and go through here and add in some icicles, kind of creeping off of my roof line. This center space right into that peak of my roof, I'm going to go ahead and take some green paint and add a big green circle, a big wreath right up here. So I've got my green and white color on there. Now I'm going to just take mixes of greens and green and white, and I'm just going to paint little lines. So it's almost like I'm making a letter V that goes all the way around it. But I'm just going to do that first section, and then I'll come back and do the interior can even grab some of that teal and put it in there as well. And then of course, since it's a gingerbread house, we're going to have to add some snow onto some of these little tips of our wreath. All right, moving on down. I do want to give my windows a really nice white border. This is where you're going to be able to tell that it's a light pink on the inside and not a white. I'm going to go around and give my windows a nice crisp, clean white border. And I'm just going to make one straight line down and 2 horizontal lines for my window panes. I can wipe my brush off and use that pink color in the back of my paintbrush to just add some polka dots around the edge of my window. Perfect. Now let's go ahead and add some more white details just below that. I'm going to make a nice skinny line that goes all the way across my house. And one just a little bit below it. And then inside of here, I'm going to make a series of X's. You know, gingerbread houses just have decorations everywhere. They're beautiful. Let's go ahead and add a border around these windows as well as my door. I'm going to do both of those in white. And then I'm just going to do a cross section in the center of each of these. In my door, I'm going to put one straight line down. Let's do 1, 2, let's do 3. 3 little horizontal lines. Now around these windows, I am going to make some dots at the very top. I'm going to put 3 on each side. And then I'm going to use some white mixed with some light blue. I'm going to take that teal paint and just add a little bit of white to it. We're going to make a really, really, really pretty light blue color. And just above these windows, I'm going to put a small little blue heart. I'm going to take some of that white paint and I'm going to do just like I did on the top of my fireplace. I'm going to make some bricks, but these bricks are going to have just some lines to them. So I don't have to do all of the lines on the bricks. I could just make some bricks have little bits of lines and some may not have all of it. Some I could even make the entire line of. I can connect a couple together, but I just want there to see that there's an illusion that there are some bricks being laid for this house. Around my door, I'm going to take some teal and white paint and mix them together again, maybe a little bit of a darker color, and I am going to do polka dots of a light blue color around my door. Of course, I need to have a door handle, so I'm going to grab that dark pink paint. Just put a little mark right there. And now I bet our roof is probably dry enough we can go ahead and finish this off. I'm going to go in with my 1-inch flat brush with a little bit of white paint. And I can even add some of that just a little bit of light blue. I'm not going to go crazy on the light blue. But right here along this pathway, I'm just going to tap back and forth with that white and that light blue to give it an appearance that there might be some gravel underneath that snow. I'm going to grab some red paint and I'm going to add a nice little bow on the bottom of my wreath. So that's just going to be an oval on one side, an oval on the other side, and 2 little lines that pull down. I'm going to take a little bit of that light blue paint and I'm going to make on just part of my windows just a little bit of light blue highlight. Maybe it's going to look like there's some frost on the windows, maybe just a small shadow. I'm making little L's in these windows up here. In the bottom ones, I just circled the whole thing, but it's a very light blue. Oh, I love snow. You can make snow lots of different ways. You can use the back of your brush and just make polka dots. You can go in and create snowflakes. I actually have a tutorial about how to make different kinds of snowflakes. You can check that out. It's really up to you, and your snowflakes can go anywhere you want. Some people like to put their snowflakes like on top of their house so you can actually see that it's snowing. Other people like to keep the snowflakes on the outside edge, not having any be on top of their house, just to keep their house a little neater. So you have to decide what you want to do with your snowflakes. I think my door needs something, and I think what I'm going to add is another little bow on my door. So another little oval on my door, my little stringies going down. Take a little bit of white for the center of it and pull some of those little lines out. Oh yeah, that's what it needed. It just needed something there. All right, well, you know what to do. When you are finished with your painting, you need to find a color that's going to show up well on your canvas and sign your name. I always put my name in the bottom right corners of my paintings. Remember, I never get to see what you're painting at home unless you post it to my Facebook page, Painting with a Purpose. Make sure that you like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Painting with a Purpose, so you are kept up to date on all of my tutorials. And remember, as always, stay kind, stay creative, and stay safe. I'm going to see just how many more details I can add onto here. All right, have a great day, friends. Bye now.